sometimes referred to as the Latino Billy Graham. In fact, by his own words, Palau said that he was mentored by Billy Graham. You know, in one interview with Christianity Today, Luis Palau spoke very highly about Jorge Bergoglio. That's the Pope's real name, because he knew him. You know, they're both from that area, Argentina down there in South America. So, you know, a red flag obviously went up in my spirit when he said that. I read the article. So let me show you something that took place at a Luis Palau crusade in Omaha, Nebraska in 2007. You know what happened? The Palau crusade workers, they sought out the Roman Catholic Church to become involved with this crusade or festival, whatever it's called. So the Palau event organizers even welcomed the idea of Catholic priests hearing confessions at that event, and they were open to the possibility of having a Catholic tent set up to explain the Catholic faith. So this is an excerpt from that article by Eric Raymond. It says, this weekend, an interesting article appeared in the Catholic Voice, a Catholic-based Omaha newspaper. That article outlined the admittedly strange partnership between the Omaha Catholic Diocese and the Luis Palau organizers. Archbishop Eldon Francis Curtis endorsed the event. This following a meeting between local priests who had spent time with leaders within Palau's organization. According to Catholic Voice, Father Ryan Lewis, Vice Chancellor and Ecumenical Officer for the Archdiocese, said local organizers approached the Archdiocese about including Catholics at the event, which has never been endorsed by a bishop until now. The festival organizers were open to Catholic input, he said. Father Ryan Lewis continues, they said they would do whatever they needed to do to formulate this festival in such a way that Catholics could participate. According to the Catholic Voice, as of now, festival planners have welcomed the idea of allowing local archdiocesan priests to hear confessions at the event, as well as the possibility of having a Catholic tent that would provide information on the Catholic faith. So, that, as I said, that was Mr. Eric Raymond who wrote that. Now look at this. Palau's July 2007 festival in Omaha, Nebraska was endorsed by Catholic Archbishop Eldon Curtis. Not only did the Catholic Archbishop address the crowd personally, but the Catholics were allowed to put up a tent at the entrance to the venue to distribute rosaries and Catholic material, and priests greeted the people as they entered the crusade grounds. Each participant filled out a card indicating religious background, and all the cards stating Catholic were given to the Catholic churches for follow-up. And that's from the Catholic Voice, June 8th, 2007. So it's a little mind-blowing when you hear stuff like this, but you haven't heard it all. You know, here's something that was written by a man by the name of John Malone, and let's see what he had to say. He says, John Malone wrote the following at BibleStudy.net. He said, Peter Smagas is 58 years old and glad to have left the Roman Catholic Church. He left it 35 years ago. I read an article sent to me that was published on Omaha's daily newspaper, the Omaha World Herald, that describes Smagas's one-man protest at a Luis Palau Heartland Festival in Omaha. The event was said to have attracted 105,000 visitors, a record. I suppose hyperbole, being what it is, the crowd was likely half that size, but still large. Smagas passed out a tract and his personal testimony. That, along with his sign that read, "Why I Left the Catholic Church," was his protest. He said for the most part he was well received. He was harassed by a Roman Catholic priest, but that fellow was made to stop. Most people gladly received his offer of his literature, but some Catholics cared to argue with him about John 6, perhaps the only scripture a Roman Catholic takes literally, concerning eating the Jesus' flesh and drinking his blood. Organizers of the Palau event had Smagas moved off the event grounds. These same organizers arranged for a large Roman Catholic tent on the premises where Roman Catholic literature was freely passed out, rosaries handed out or sold, I do not know which, and Roman Catholic priests were hearing confessions throughout both days. The tent, with confessions being heard, was a requirement by the Roman Catholics locally in order to gain their support. Eldon Curtis, the Archbishop of the Omaha Roman Catholic Archdiocese, was invited to open or close the festival in prayer. So that was written by John Malone. So that's, this is what you're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. It's mind-blowing. Can you imagine this? I was saved out of the Church of Rome. Can you imagine if I went to a crusade? Somebody said, oh, you heard of Luis Palau? Oh, yeah, he's a preacher. Oh, yeah, let's go. And you go there and you see a tent. And you see priests and you say, what's this? And the guy starts handing me rosary beads. Yeah, you see how it doesn't fit, folks? This is unbelievable stuff. But folks, this is accepted, widely accepted. People roll their eyes if you attempt to speak to them about such things. This is the time that we are living in.